So before I start this, let's just call it a lost real talk vlog. But it's a video that I've been planning to put it up since 2018. Unfortunately, like I always say before, time and schedule sometimes gets in the way. So finally, I decided to put this up, and like I said, this is a lost real talk. And what it is my thoughts on the social media problem. So believe it or not, I did this before, but I took it down because of certain content that someone asked me to remove it. So I said, fine, I'll remove it. Now I decided to put it back. I call it part 3 Redux. Basically, not using someone else's material. Let's just say that. However, I also decided to make this Redux because if you know what happened, I think in 2018, in a situation with Guild War, ArenaNet, one of the employees decided to lash out to a person for whatever reason, and they said was, "Oh, you're disrespecting me," whatever, which is kind of related to what I'm talking about. And also, just recently, 2019, there been controversy because of wording problems, such as Hideo Kojima's translator explaining what a Kojima game. Of course, if you know what happened that one, people thought Kojima was being an egotistic person, and yes, I am gonna give my thoughts about that one as a lost vlog. I know, but that's gonna be later on, as well as Mike Matei. If you remember his thoughts on Rewind-Feature on the Switch, the first time when people read it, people felt like he was being egotistic, but then later on he did clarify that no, he was addressing to certain people, and he did admit that yeah, my wording was poor, and I agree with that 100%. And then I'm not gonna give my thoughts about this one because I'm not really interested, but I'll just give a gist of it. Ninjas on being serious about video game, and the problem with that one is the question is who's he addressing to? If you're addressing to the competitors and they say that to themselves, oh, it's just a game, whatever, maybe I kind of get where it's coming from because if you're a competitor, whether you like or not, you have to take video games seriously. FGC competitors, believe it or not, to some extent, they have to take it seriously because that's their livelihood. But if it's addressing it to just the general audience who just likes video game, and some people, like myself, just play casual for fun, then he just sounds like a, I hate to say it, he's an idiot. And like the post on his Twitter page, then I kind of get where it's coming from. But apparently, someone did showed a video of Ninja complaining about that word is just a game makes him crazy apparently. So no one knows when that video was made, so I don't even know. But that kind of made him look like an idiot there. But like I said, if he's addressing to the competitors only, then I can make sense of why he was saying it. But if he's addressing to the whole gaming community, even for people who just want to play for fun in a casual level, then there's something wrong with him. So with that, this once again, lost real talk. I'm gonna put it up and then kind of just give my opinion about the problem with the social media that sometimes poor wording can actually get you in trouble to some extent. Hello guys, NautoAce here, and this particular video is going to be a response to Yongyea and Mugenlord on the arena employee controversy. But believe it or not also that this particular video is actually a revised old video that I just revised it, so I kind of redundant there. You'll understand why I made a mistake there. It's basically, I call it a social media problem. I did talk about this before in the past, and I did a third part about this one, but it's related to the Backlog Battle. And if you've been following me last year, at some point I had to take it down. I had to talk with Alex about it. There was some, let's just say there's just some conflicts, and I'm not going to get into it, but so I took it down, and including this video. So why are you putting it up? Well, no, I'm putting it up, but I'm revising and removing certain point. But that video is also a response to the Backlog Battle.
And for basically that particular video I'm responding to is there was a point on the podcast that Alex got a comment on his Twitter from a fan, and he analyzed the post. And basically, in the end, the conclusion he got was the guy was being sarcastic, but for a while he kind of couldn't really understand about like the guy was being sarcastic, and he basically said, well, the problem is you're trying to be sarcastic on the internet doesn't always work because people can't tell. And that's the problem. That's why it's called the social media problem. So a lot of times, the problem sometimes, it's also happened to me, is that sometimes I support these people, I want to make them. I want them to be successful. I really support them. So I post something that's friendly, respectable, and the response I got was, "What the hey, dude? Like, whoa! I don't understand." I mean, it happened to me to multiple people that I follow. I'm not really gonna name, but it's kind of really disappointing. I mean, heck, even the one I really follow and I got respect for, they did it to me too. I mean, kind of disappointing, but yeah. And this is related to what happened to the ArenaNet, where the former employee basically attacked a fan after a fan respectfully disagreeing, being professional, no attack, no foul language, no animosity. All this person did was just give the opinion, and what was the response? Well, the person attacked them, and of course, as a result, they're now former employee. And this former employee basically wouldn't really stop. Unfortunately, because as of right now, the last word from this former employee is that he basically gave an opinion and then just moved on. Like, as Yongyea would probably say, you can dish it, but you can't take it. So basically, this one's going to be a revised one, removing a lot of reference to the Backlog Battle, but it's kind of sort of, in my opinion, useful because it is still part of the social media problem. And for me personally, I don't know what the problem is. It could be that maybe because I slack on the English language, i.e. grammar maybe. Maybe there was just poor wording in my part. I don't know. It's just sometimes it's just kind of like sort of frustrating because you're supporting these people and then they're sort of giving you the middle finger. I'm like, dude, that's not cool. So with that, I'm going to play this video. And, well, an old opinion of social media, part 3. Hello, guys. So, basically, what you just heard was something that kind of like related to my previous Real Talk video, and that is social media problem, which sometimes when you type something, you're just trying to be nice, you're trying to support these people, but I guess the way they read it was something different, kind of take it the wrong way, and then they get passive aggressive, and you don't understand what did I insult you or something, and then they had I guess reread it, whatever, trying well, to some extent, the word is damage control. So yes, I am basically, you could say this is a follow-up to my social media problem. So basically here I'm going to be Lewis, not the ace one, it's going to be actually Real Talk. And Alex basically said, well, I don't think he was attacking. I had to reread it multiple times just trying to understand what's the objective. And I guess he guessed was, oh, I think the guy was just being sarcastic. Again, unfortunately, doing that in the internet, it doesn't work. So basically, at least Alex probably he did address that there is a problem with social media when you're trying to type things. Like I said, I'm trying to type something. I think it was nice. I wasn't insulting anyone, but then they took it the wrong way and thinking that I was insulting them. Another example that I encountered this was MMPR Toys, aka Bruno, Power Ranger super fan. I think at one point he did work with the Power Ranger production, from what I heard. Good, cool guy, very passionate with the Power Ranger and Super Sentai. Follow me on YouTube, check it out if you have a chance. And he was reviewing the Dino Charge Morpher gun. I forgot what, in Japan I don't know what it is, but it's a Koryuger gun. And I kind of just did a joke and said, What? No music? Where's the music? And I guess the failure in my part, though, I guess I have to admit it, was I didn't mention there was a gun. And Bruno basically responded with, "What are you talking about? I put a music in the video in the beginning of the video. What? There's something wrong with my video?" I'm like, "No, I wasn't talking about video. I'm making a joke that the gun doesn't make music like its Japanese counterpart." So for people who don't know, the gist of it is that in the Japanese version of the toy that he was doing was based on a Super Sentai, and the gun there makes like samba music. In the middle, I try now imply that was a joke, but unfortunately, I guess either again I kind of probably understand that he didn't really get it. He just thought I was insulting his video. Like, no, no, I wasn't. Again, that's what Alex was saying. That he was just saying basically tidbit is, hey, look, trying to be sarcastic in the internet doesn't always work because I mean I can understand why. It's sometimes you can't tell. I mean, heck, even Tommy Talrico when he was posting in G4, he did admit it. Sometimes when people post stuff, you can't tell whether you're supporting him or you're basically insulting him. What you say, what you say you think is good, what's the expression in your mind, sometimes may not come out. Maybe sometimes it's the rewording, sometimes, like I said, I did ask my fans, say, do I have a wording problem? Because sometimes I type something and then they take it the wrong way, like, they, what's going on? I mean, maybe granted, there's a mentality of, yeah, you're just my fan, and that is all. Yes, I mean, that's never been a bad thing. A lot of them, there's a misunderstanding, let's just say, that just because you're a fan of the guy, that you expect that they're going to be loyal to you and going to appreciate you as a friend. Not necessarily. Like, heck, Big Al basically even stated himself. He basically addressed Markiplier when Markiplier did a joke and later on apologized. He basically was annoyed about it, that he had to apologize for what he did. And basically said, Mark, you don't owe these fans. You don't owe these fans. Yeah, they're your fans. Great, they're helping you pay the bills. But to some extent, you don't owe them. Don't be a doormat. And again, that's probably to some extent. Just because you're a fan, it doesn't mean that that person is going to probably give you props or whatever. You can be a fan of someone. That guy probably still doesn't like you just because he's probably, even if you're a fan. I mean, it is whatever. I mean, heck, Pat the Ennis Punk even admitted, he said that, yeah, I have a lot of fans, but it doesn't mean that I'm a friend of all these fans, or that I get along with all these fans, because to some extent, you never know, they might basically stab you in the back, which I can tell you, I won't, but again, believe what you want. You can't really be sarcastic on the internet because it just doesn't show. And you say, what's wrong? Well, the problem is, sometimes text does not have emotion than voice. Voice is much easier. That's why we're doing voice voice blog, recording. It's much easier than doing text. Because sometimes you can't tell what's the emotion behind it. Are they mad? Are they happy? Are they supportive? Are they mad? And that's what even Alex was saying. He couldn't really tell until it took him a while. I mean, another one is that you can see a long time ago. I did this podcast ramble with Greg Miller, former IGN. Now he basically works for Kind of Funny, which is his own project with Colin Moriarty, Scarpino, and Tim Geddes. But when it was still at IGN, there was a guy who was a fan of Greg Miller. He called him out on Retro Rampage DX, I think that's what it's called. And he basically said, no disrespect. And then the way I see what Greg did was he kind of like took it like personal to, no, you're disrespecting me, and I blocked that person. I mean, Greg, why? The way I seen it, he wasn't disrespecting you. He was just rebutting your thing. What did he? I don't know. He was insulting you. And if it, I mean, doesn't look like an insult, I don't get it. Why you took it? Why take it so personal? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, that's going to be the link in the description box, excuse me. It's a long video, a long time ago, but the reason I put that up, it kind of annoyed me a bit. I mean, I had no problem with Greg, cool guy, but particularly there, I'm sorry, man. Greg was just, I don't know, like he's strutting his ego or something. Nothing personal. But I know to some extent, it is still the time that he was also fighting cancer, which awesome. He fought it off. He was in therapy, I mean, at the time, yeah, he was fighting off cancer. Like I said, he fixed it. He survived cancer. Awesome. But it's just at a time I'm like, really, Greg Miller? Really? Come on, man, dude. And yes, it is an old video, but it's just, you get the idea what I'm trying to say. Just sometimes text is a problem, and I just want to point that out. I want to basically express that it's frustrating, I'm trying to be supportive, and then all of a sudden, oh, they take it a different way. Like, I don't get it. Seriously, I don't get it. So, yeah, it is, let's just say, third part of my real talk about the social media problem. I mean, to anyone, sometimes it's just the word, I think one of the solutions is just, I guess proper grammar, proper word, the choice of word, I don't know. Because I try that, and sometimes people take it the wrong way, and it's, like I said before, it is frustrating. Yeah, that's my real talk, part 3. So, yeah, thanks for listening.